Well, the greatest respect to the young lads playing football last night, representing this tiny island, and the management. Wonderful efforts. And people can say it always ends that way, but I think it was an absolutely unbelievable performance for a lot of young kids who, myself, I don't deny, had dealt with and was a sceptic. But I was a sceptic because I haven't watched the game for probably 7 or 8 years with any kind of interest, shall we say. So I'm entitled to step back in when things have changed and have an opinion. And those who've been there with them all through, who are calling the likes of me doubters, you doubters, well, if you don't have doubt, and if you allow things just to continue as they are, and if you don't want to change management, a bit like that MP said yesterday, then it's like this government we have at the moment. Yeah? People have to, point out their fucking disappointments at the team and at the fucking management. And much as was said by the commentators, well, not the commentators, but the footballers, ex-footballers commentating, they all chirp back to the days when they played and there were cliques and there were, managers who wouldn't allow free fucking spirit, free thinking football. So I think stepping out like I've done for so long and coming back in to have a look has been a wonderful example of let's say, looking at things from a different angle, other than some of these who have just like been there all along. And they do this as a weekly fucking daily, their whole life revolves around it. They're now talking, some of them, that fuck it, it's back to the Premiership now, Liverpool can do it, Manchester United can do it, those people to me don't look at the game in the same way as I look at the game, or as I have looked at the game, and many others have looked at the game. It was a fantastic effort. I see all kinds of comments, some very pleased with the effort we put in, others not happy at all. One cousin in particular, in France, is not happy one bit, mate, because of the attitude of the French around him while he was watching the game, shouting for Croatia. Maybe that was a compliment. Maybe they'd rather play Croatia than play England. Maybe it's just the ignorance of not really been to places such as that before, and I do sometimes wonder why people visit islands when they themselves are so insular and insulated from the reality of different nations, But I must admit, some of the comments on that particular post from friends were outrageous, surrendering bastards, ask them who liberated us, who liberated them. Well, Yanks, weren't it? I don't know. I think we always as a nation have to drag politics and fucking our so-called past and history into football, don't you? Into sport in general. I do also think, and this is not sour grapes, I do think every fucking member of every football team and every match in the World Cup should be drug tested. And I mean that because some of these players yesterday and in other games appear to have a fucking engine that's, well, almost beyond fucking comprehension. And I know that, they get desire from, the simple fact of where they come from. And a lot of us should realise yesterday that really England were playing war kids. These were kids who grew up during the Bosnian War, who lost fucking parents, relatives, friends, They have a desire beyond belief. Can we almost say a desire similar to the boys of '66, who themselves grew up during and after a war, you know? So there's no shame whatsoever in defeat to Croatia yesterday, despite it being an island of only 4 million people, and the fact that we are, I don't know, 10, 12 times bigger. It's not about that, is it? It's about the fact that Southgate picked a lot of young lads. He picked a lot of young lads who, let's just say, weren't fucking household names, didn't have an history of being superstars. They'd, you know, crawled and fucking fought their way through lower division teams to get to where they are, and so you create a spirit. And I think we showed a wonderful spirit yesterday, and I will be watching odd games in the future. I won't be going home and fucking thinking about watching it week in, week out. I just think that I think it's just sad sometimes at the way some of our, you know, I mean, I must admit, I got a message from his son, who's now in a different part of Canada, and he said, I'm sat in a bar with people who are double my age, and they've got their heads in their hands, their heads in their hands crying. And he said, I don't do that anymore. I realised that when England got knocked out of the Euros against Portugal, when he went off to his room. But he was a child then. You see, that's the difference, isn't it? In some cases it's about growing up, isn't it? It's about actually, you know, realising that it's not the be-all and end-all, is it? I just think that overall it's been a fantastic World Cup, a fantastic example of unity in sport. I was a little bit miffed by that fucker coming on just before the kick-off as the last one to give comments, Prince William. Yeah, about, come on lads, bring it home. Is he not the head of FIFA or something? He's the head of football in this country, isn't he? He wasn't even there to represent this nation. There wasn't a single British representative amongst the old fucking hoity-toity, was there? Yeah. The night before Macron was sat there, the French fucking president, Prime Minister, whatever, yeah, celebrating his team's results. No, I don't know. Maybe it'll clear the air a bit now, yeah, and we can get back to the reality of the visit of Mr. Trump and the chaos being caused in this nation by this incompetent government who have nothing on their minds other than self. And it really is very sad, really. But, as I said, congratulations to the team that battled their way through, and that, you know, we should all be proud of. There are young kids out there with a desire to win like that, and with a desire to fight to the very end, and yeah, I'll leave you with that. I had something else to say, but my head's a bit cloudy this morning. Might be something to do with the fucking muggy weather.